Here she is. She coming on. Yeah, she's giving me away. Waiting for Susie. Hey!
Hey!
Oh, I'm floundering there without you. I can't do a meal. How are you?
Mate! Oh my god. Why is this still carrying on?
Right, I know. I'm going out of my fucking mind.
Yeah, I am now. Do you know what? I mean, when it first got announced, and then of course you're worrying about friends, family, finances, people's health, all of that, the world at large. And then about a week in, I just was coasting. I was like, don't you worry, you call me. If you're having a tough day, do you know what? My shoulders are broad enough. I can carry you. And then I had a fucking meltdown. Thanks for nothing. I was washing the dishes and I was thinking, yeah, I've got this. All we got to do is stay in, protect, flatten the curve, protect the NHS. And I was washing the dishes and then I thought, out of nowhere, this voice just appeared and it went, hey, do you really have any self-worth? I'm not even joking. That's what, and I just
Oh my god. Do you know, I had a similar thing. I put up a TikTok of me dancing to the theme tune, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah.
And somebody posted, yeah, the first two were funny, but this isn't funny anymore. And I was so hurt by it. I led in bed for a whole day. And I just cried. I had to call my husband back from his work because I was just on the fucking floor. I was mortified. There's nothing worse than somebody telling you that you're not funny anymore.
If you lose your sense of humour, you're fucked. It's finished. It is. You might as well just give up. And I've had it where people are like, "Oh, she's not funny," and you're like, "Oh, I am." I am.
That's the only thing I have. I don't have looks. I don't really have talent. That's all I thought I was all right for.
You're beautiful. Don't say that. But I know what you mean. Like when you value, it's not just about, hoping that you're funny. When you value it in other people and it's something that gives you joy, and then someone turns around and says, "You're not fucking any good," you're like, brilliant. And that's all I have. I've got literally nothing left. That's the last card. That's the last card, mate.
I'm just a husk, a hollow husk. Right, so let's get started here.
Let's get started.
Can you just give a sort of history of how you got into the biz?
The biz. How did I get into the biz? So my kind of way in was we didn't really have drama classes at school. I went to a public school. State school. Public school means posh. I went to a state school and music was a focus. So we had loads of choirs, but we didn't do any drama. And it was an English teacher who was like, "Oh, I think that you'd be good at this thing." And it was called National Youth Theatre. And I was about 12 or 13 at the time. And then what you have to do is, I think you had to pay a tenner to audition. So I used to do this quite a lot. I used to save up my dinner money. So I just wouldn't eat at school. So I saved up my dinner money for the tenner. And then I went in and I auditioned. I remember I auditioned with Macbeth because we were studying it and I couldn't be fucked to learn anything else. I was just like, well, I know that. And I did like the dagger thing. I was like, there's a fucking dagger. And they were like, really interesting choice, subversive. I was like, we're studying it. And then I got in and so what you do at National Youth Theatre, what at least you did do, was every summer, kids from all over the UK would come together and do shows. And so for me, it was teenager. I mean, it was messy. It was messy. Like, it was just teenagers in the middle. You couldn't do it now. Teenagers in the middle of London just kissing.
Oh yeah. It doesn't about acting anymore. It's just snogging and snogging the lead and
yeah, that's it. But you know what?
I felt that kiss on stage and all that crap.
it meant everything. But the thing is, what I loved about that was that there wasn't any like there wasn't like focus on the business. There wasn't focus on like agents. There wasn't any of that. It was just about doing a play and then being really sociable. But it was from my first show that I got my first agent, called Jackie. And she basically just, so I was about 15, and she basically just coached me through auditions. And I was about 16. And she told me, you know, she explained what an agent was. She explained audition. She explained that this is this theatre and this is this, you know, production company and all of that. And I got my first job when I was about 17, a TV job. And that was a lot of, that show, there was a lot of street casting. So I was just at sixth form. There was all the kids, I think there was one kid who was from a stage school, but everybody was just street casting. And
Right.
And you get casting directors who focus just on people who are not trained. So I was part of that lot. But I was filming this show and I just didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. One take would be great. The next take would be bollocks. And I wouldn't know why. And I'm somebody who I value skill. So I knew I had to go to wherever you train to do that thing, which was drama school. So I applied for drama school twice and got in to RADA the second time. So it was through, my way in was through, things that don't really exist anymore, you know, like community groups, after school clubs, like that sort of thing. I went to this Saturday drama group, which was just full of kids from anywhere. And that was how all these initiatives actually that have just been slashed because of government cuts, that was how I learnt about it. And then I just found mentors and really good people who were always like, oh, this is what this is. I was really lucky. But yeah, that's how I got him.
So I'm going to fire a few questions that we've already had at you. Are you ready?
Ready. I'm ready.
This is from Lily Burton. Hello, Susie and Daisy. My question is, any tips when you're performing and creating your own with no agent and want to make long-lasting relationships with theatres? In these times, I've looked back and feel really raging at how shit I was when people have given me their details and I haven't emailed them out of fear or not feeling good enough. Thank you. What would you say to that?
She shouldn't feel shit about not emailing people. It's a weird, you know, I've had it. Someone's gone, you should email me. Here's my details. And then you do, and then you never hear from them again. Yeah. So it's just, sometimes when people they're feeling generous in the moment and then they forget, or, you know, what you've got to understand about TV and theatre, especially now, is that it's so shakeable that people are often just worrying about themselves. So I wouldn't worry about, like, you know, not emailing people. But I would say, yeah, go on.
I was going to say, so, I mean, like, the most important thing I want to ask you, because I don't actually know the answer myself, is how the fuck do people get into this industry without having an agent, without going to drama school and doing that? Like,
do you know what? I think it's, even though the industry has got bigger, I think it's easier to get work or secure an agent without going to drama school or whatever, just because you've got platforms like this. You've got cameras on your phone that is decent enough to get stuff filmed and literally be accepted into London Film Festival. Like, all of this advancement in technology, even though it's going to be the thing that kills us, I think that it's a great place to find lots of new talent, lots of particularly funny talent. You know, it's very easy to come up with sketches. You see it all the time on TikTok. That's one of the reasons why we love it. People who are so funny, who don't need to have gone to the same 4 schools in order for something to take off. And I think that sometimes people can see that as being a bit crass. Oh, putting your content online or whatever, it isn't the right way to do it. But I'm just like, I think the reason why people say that isn't the right way to do it is because they want to keep the way in exclusive.
Yes,
they want it to be as hard and as mystical and it's true. Like, it is true. You've got to know there are a lot of people who go to school together, go to the same universities and all of that. There's those connections, there's nepotism, all of that. But I feel like now, if somebody creates the right thing at the right time, it is a lot of luck. I think that you don't need those gatekeepers. And I think those gatekeepers are feeling a lot of pressure now because they're realizing that people are not taking permission. So I would say now, collaborate together. It doesn't have to be so lonely. But I say, as much as I hate the internet, it is also, there's just, the rules are fucking thrown out, mate. So I would say lean into putting your own stuff out there.
You know what? That's inspiring me. Even you just saying that. Because, well, when I think back, and I think back before all of these platforms existed, there was only kind of like Mandy, there was like star.com, where you go on and there would be these awful auditions where it just say, do you, Channel 4 program looking for somebody who eats over like 10,000 calories a day, and I'd be applying for it, you know, it's all those, well, you know what I mean, or it'd be like, have you got a problem with your boyfriend? BBC Three are doing this kind of document, and it was just like all of these crap crap things, or it was like model needed for commercial, 100 quid for the day, you know, fucking shit kind of stuff like that.
I would rather be able to commit to my own schedule of work where, you know, if I was waitressing or temping and creating my own stuff on the side, rather than get 50 quid to just basically like stand there in something that I don't care about. Like I remember particularly when I left drama school, my thing was making sure that I always had a float. Like an actress called Tanya Moody, actually, she advised, what you've got to do is work up to having a £5,000 float. At the time when she said £5,000, I was like, where the fuck am I gonna get £5,000? But she was like, at all times, just make sure you've got that. Forget savings and all that, you know, hundreds of thousands. Just make sure you've got that for emergencies. And so I remember that was like my goal for ages, was just making sure that I always had this baseline. And I would do it by any means, like, but I just think that sometimes those castings, there's like was it Casting Call? There was a
Casting Call Pro.
Yeah, Casting Call Pro. That was the one. I mean, hit and miss. But I just think that you don't need any of that, like when you've got the internet, I think.
Amazing. Perfect advice. I'm going to move on to the next question.